Hi, everybody. Sam here with Retention Made Simple, and I have my friend Jennifer Young, and I have many young people in my life. So I don't, we'll have to see maybe if there's some relation, but we'll see. Happy to be here with her. We're going to talk a little bit about client retention and figure out a little bit about who she is, how she helps in the world, and also just have some human conversation. Everything seems to be around AI. We may talk AI as well. I don't know. We'll see where the conversation goes. But I love AI and I want to keep the humanity in the process. We help small business owners, entrepreneurs, founders keep their best clients longer and get more referrals. I'm not making an income claim, but I've seen it on paper where people have been able to double and triple their revenue without even getting any new clients. So if that sounds interesting to you, let's just have you stay along for the ride today. So Jennifer, tell everybody a little bit about who you are, where you're at in the world, how you help, and we'll just have a conversation around that.
Yeah, thank you for having me. This is actually really fun. So, yeah, my story is it goes it, not a straight path.
Yeah.
So, I owned a dance studio for 15 years, real brick and mortar, and I loved the marketing side of it. Really loved the marketing side of it, so much so that I dove into the psychology behind what made a parent come into our business from what specific flyer. And then as soon as Groupon, I'm dating myself now.
Yeah, that's
And
okay.
as soon as as
I'm
soon as
still like this, but
yeah,
I saw an email come through for Groupon recently, and I'm like, oh, I didn't even know that they were
like
still around.
they are, but yeah, so like as soon as Groupon and Living Social came on the scene, like that's how long I had that. Yeah, I'm dating myself. But when they started to pop up, I was like, oh, there's something here. This is something like I can finally get in front of my ideal audience, right? And like mass scale. I was like door hangering. That's how, like
Yeah.
marketing wise. And I was like, awesome. I can like really dive into psychology here. And then Facebook opened up ads. And then I was like, okay, awesome. I'm going to dive into like how I can become like an ad strategist, all while running this like creative, like massive, like 700 student dance studio. And my friends were like, what is wrong with you? You are a studio owner, not like an ad marketing strategist. And I'm like, well, I think maybe I'm both. And so, yeah, long story short, I ended up selling the studio, opening up my own ad agency, and I transitioned into that and did that for about 7 years, and about 18 months ago, transitioned that into an AI agency. So we can talk AI if you want, but
Oh, big.
we but yeah, so long story short, it went from brick and mortar, full on Meta certified, Google certified to run tons of marketing campaigns behind the scenes for a good, very long years. And I'm still certified to do that. So we can talk as much as you want about all that kind of
Yeah.
stuff, customer retention, like all of that. And then the into,
Yeah.
AI and all of that. And there is something to be said about keeping clients and what the cost it that is what a big part of what AI is doing right now. And you are spot on about how to increase your bottom line with the customers that you already have.
Yeah.
That is a huge topic around AI right now. So
Yeah.
just in
Seeing it
case you're
too.
wondering.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So do you use Google ads at all for any clients or Facebook ads now? Or if you had somebody refer that to you, would you refer it to somebody else or would you do it?
No, we still do it. About 18 months ago, I recognized that what I was doing behind the scenes, AI was going to be doing. And so that was what made the pivot, really. The
Yeah.
pivot was I needed to figure out, okay, how am I still going to serve my clients quicker, faster, using AI, but setting up the AI tools for them and
Yes.
then just monitoring the AI tools so that it was, yeah.
We made a pivot at my company about 18 months ago too. So for those of you that are new, and Jennifer as well, my main company is called Your Admin Ninja. We started in 2019. 100% of my businesses come from referrals. And about 18 months ago, I started to think about what I wanted to do for work in the next 5 or 10 years. And if it was different than what I was doing now, what that would be. Because I love my company, I love my team, I love my clients. But what I recognized was we had basically, instead of being an admin company, we had become a social media company. And I
Yeah.
don't want to be a social media company. Between you and me and whoever's listening, I don't really care for social media. It's a necessary means to an end. And so then what would it be? What would I want to do? And we've always done general admin really well. We've done social media well. But the third thing we've done the whole time was client care, client retention, the whole piece of keeping your best clients longer. And so I've actually turned away clients for general admin and social media because we're really honing in on the client retention piece. Because I truly believe that if you can figure this part out, that you won't have to do so much noise making online. You have your lead gen that's working, your flow that's working, you're getting your clients, and then your best ones refer you. You don't have to spend so much time and money on social media. So we're definitely talking about the same thing. And with AI, like, it's very interesting as it started coming out that it was like, this is whether you like it or not, ta-da, we're here. This is where we're at. I've actually loved it, but a lot of people I know haven't. And what I love about it is it streamlines my thoughts, my processes in a way that I could never do, keeping my voice true to me when you do it right.
Mm.
Do it right. And so that frees me up to have more FaceTime with you, to do a call with you, or to meet people, or to show up in relationship, or to write a letter that I actually mailed to somebody, right?
Yeah.
The AI can never do that, right?
Mm-mm.
By using AI, then we're able to then have the more humanity wrapper around what we do.
Yeah, for sure. And that's what we do. And that's what businesses should be using AI for. They should be using it for things that they do repetitively every single week. So if there's a task or a tool that you do every single week,
Yeah,
and that you are just like it's in your head and it has more than 3 or 4 steps, that definitely should be an AI task that is done, and any SOP doesn't need to be done by you
yeah.
anymore. Those kind of things just does
My
not, they do
favorite
not.
thing I'm using Claude for right now is since 2019, our workflow has been we have a client call. I'll say, well, you and I are on a call. I'm on the call. And then I have somebody else watch the call to take the notes because I'm not going to be the one to do it. And then the notes have to be transcribed and put onto our project board. Now at 5 p.m. Central every day, coworker goes in on my computer, pulls all the transcripts from the calls, and the videos are still there if we need them to go back to and watch. But it saves so much time. And oh my gosh, the number of things that Claude picks up on the transcript that we said we would do that would have never gotten done because we would have just skipped over it
Yeah.
as making the notes or
Mhm.
forgot we said right? And so that is a prime example of something that I was so happy when I got it to do that, and I was like, "Yes."
Yeah. Yeah.
I finally caught up. I've wanted this for 9 years, 7 years, or
Yeah.
however long it's been, and I'm like, "It finally's here."
Yeah. Or if you have current clients and you have maybe tiers of clients and you have something like that you want more revenue coming in from your current clients, if you have a specific report that maybe takes you or did take you multiple hours before for this super high tier, and it was like it was like an extra premium, if Claude can now do that report for you in less time, that's now an extra bonus feature that you could offer to this lower tier for maybe a bonus price. That you're not, you know what I mean? You're not actually doing any extra work. Claude's doing the work for you, but that's a valuable piece that you're
Yes.
offering your clients that they actually may not be in that extra tier yet, but they may want that extra piece
Yeah.
of something. And so
Gives
that's
them a little
that's
bit of taste of what they would want to go up.
exactly. And
Yeah.
that's what local businesses really need to tap into of, hey, AI can do these things. We just need to look outside of the box of where else can I use AI in my business to help me bring in extra revenue because that's what AI should be doing.
So good. As you were talking about the processes and things, there's a company I worked for back in 2012, I think, and it was actually my favorite company I've ever worked for, the best boss I've ever had outside of me being my own boss. And he was so good, and I loved working there. And they actually sold office equipment, like big machines, to states and colleges and things. And one of my jobs was on a quarterly basis to pull their all the list of the hundreds of copiers and printers that they had in their print counts to show how much the usage and all that stuff. And it would take me so long to pull the data and to create it into the spreadsheet and turn it into the presentation that it could be done. And then
Instantly. Yeah.
and then that frees me up to do the things that AI can't do because and I know that a lot of people are scared that AI is going to take over everything. There's always going to be things that AI can't do. Sorry.
There will be. Yeah. There's always going to be things that AI can't do. And that's going to be the nature of that's just how technology is going to work from now on, right? That's AI is here to stay. It's just how are we going to work with it? How are we going to integrate it into our business? Because at the end of the day, running a small business is hard.
It is hard. Very
And
hard.
it's hard. And if you can cut down your expenses, we have to because it's not going to get any cheaper. It's just not. And so AI is here to really make make your life easier. And one of the ways to do that is really take a good hard look again at a lot of the software that you're paying for because like you use Claude, I love Claude. Claude can do a lot of the things that I'm betting you're a lot of the software that you're already paying for can do.
Yeah. Yeah, that's interesting. So one of the things, I'll just ask you a question. We're gonna transition into client retention in just a couple minutes, but I'm really enjoying
Mhm.
this, and I'm sure everybody else is too. So the thing I have tried, I pay for 4 different services to do videos, maybe 5. And I've tried to get rid of several, and then I break my systems because I've been doing it for so long.
Ah,
So I tried to go to Google Meet because we use Google Suite for everything for work and the drive and everything. But then some of our clients were really cranky about not liking Google Meet. Right.
yeah.
So then we go back to Descript to Zoom, but we also have Descript. I also have Restream. And then there's one other I have that I paid for a lifetime version of it. So if I could have just one video source that then I could edit and do everything in, if one, I would love to know. It's
It is tricky. I use Descript.
I love Descript. I use it every day.
I do too. And it's not perfect. I don't think there's one perfect one. I think that one's close.
You can actually bring people on. I've actually considered doing my podcast through Descript, but I haven't tested it and I don't want to test on a live. I need to test it
Mhm.
first internally to make sure it works because I
Yeah.
don't want to lose the video,
Mhm.
right? Because then I
Yeah.
could actually have people come in, but if people don't like Google Meet, they're not going to the script. Because literally, I could probably
Oh,
do everything in,
yeah,
yeah.
you could.
And then the transcript would be right there. Claude would pull from it and we'd be done.
It is. It's a very robust and very easy to use.
I think so. Right. Yeah. Well,
I
we'll
like it.
see. My team may not let me make any more changes because I almost broke everything by switching from Zoom. You're like, where are the calls? Where are the notes? Because that was right in the time where we were getting Claude up to speed and nobody
Uh-huh.
could find anything. I'm like, I'm so sorry I broke it.
That, that sounds like me.
Yeah. I have a leadership team now, and there was three, but one is actually working full time somewhere else now. So there's only two. So they have to agree with me before I make a big decision. And I made that decision without talking to them, and they were not happy. So that's the way it goes. All right. So
Right.
clearly, having had a studio for 15 years and having these other businesses, I have a feeling you have done some things over the years or learned some things, or maybe have a question, whatever you want to talk about is good with me. When we think about client retention for you or for your ideal client, what does that mean to you?
For me, it means a couple different things. So when I was running the studio, client retention was tricky because it was like if anyone's ever you have a kid or you've been in a kid business, that starts over every year. So you feel like you're scrambling. You really do. So client retention is tricky. And so you really you treat those kids and those families like they are family because you want them to sign up with you immediately after the big event, which every year is that recital, right? And
Uh,
so
yeah.
we are putting on the biggest, the best show. We are making that show so flipping emotional
And
so that
yeah, they want to be a part of it again.
every parent is like, "That was the best," right? Absolutely the best. And then we are immediately, like, the next day, like, in their inbox, sending them a registration form with, like, half off registration for the next season, right? Again, for us, that was the psychology flip.
Time matters too. The timing matters.
100% because we wanna catch them on that high.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so we wanna catch them on the high, and we wanna catch them with the quick discount, right? With the quick, like yeah, so we're
Do
double
it
teaming them
on
there.
like you're building your revenue, got them locked in solid, and it's a good value for them. So it really
And it's a
is
good yeah, so it's a win-win, and because for most of the dance studios and that industry, summer's a very low time. So if we can get that registration fee right after the big show, the recital, that gives us the registration fees that floats the business
literally
until
help it.
yeah. So that's how that works. And then the agency for us, because it's a retainer model, ours
Company.
because it was a retainer model, ours was love touches. Like I'm a big fan of love touches. And it wasn't necessarily one-on-one, like meets. Yes, I would do one-on-one, like every quarter we would sit down and have a Zoom and be like, okay, here are our numbers, here are those kind of things. Once w- every other week, I would just do a live open office hours. Very rarely did anyone ever jump on those because people are busy and they don't care and their
Watch
ads
the
are
replay.
running
Yeah.
and they don't, they don't care. They jump on, their ads are running, students are coming in and clients are coming in. They don't really care about that. But when our clients sign up with us, we ask them to fill out just like this random onboarding form. And we do ask for when the date of like when they started their business.
Yes, that's so good. That's what I
Yeah.
teach. That's part of what I teach. So I teach a
Yeah.
three-part system. Retention Made Simple is a three-part system. The first part is onboarding properly. And when you ask the right questions, it sets you up for the length of the relationship. And one of my favorite ones is to celebrate when we help our clients celebrate when their clients started their business, their birthday or an anniversary, that something that matters to them, it really does matter. And when they start with you, they fill out the form and they're thinking, oh, yeah, she's got this information. They're not going to remember that they filled out the form. And then they're going to get a surprise of some kind from you. Right. So, yeah, well done. Good
Yeah.
job.
Yeah. So told you, I'm really good at the marketing side of it. So,
Wow.
yeah. So we have them fill out the form of when they started the business. So I'll send them always something when on their anniversary of the business. But we send them an onboarding gift of
Yeah.
we're excited to work with you kind of thing. And then the one that throws people for a loop is we always ask for the birthday of the person that we will be communicating with the most. So it's
Addresses
usually,
there and better.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's usually the front desk person or their admin or someone like that.
Sometimes they may
And
not even have it. They have to go find it.
yeah, and sometimes they don't have it, and sometimes that shocks me a little bit. But we always ask for that because we do send that person something on their birthday
Yeah.
because they're
Do
the
you have
ones
a
that we're
program
communing
that
with.
you use to show, or do you just do random things? Or what are you using for your cards or your gifts right now? Do you know?
It depends which country they're in.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
Mm.
Very good. All right. That's amazing. Yeah. So the onboarding form is everything. And that's what I tell
Yes.
people. If you can only do one thing that I teach is onboarding properly sets you up for success because you have the
Yep.
information. And then the second part of that though is making sure you have the information where you know where it's at. Because just because you have
Mhm.
it sitting on a form doesn't mean anything if you don't put it to use somewhere. So knowing that I'm curious from the AI side of things, you have your onboarding form, then where do you disseminate that information to? Where does it go so it's useful?
Yeah, we use ClickUp.
Okay. Yeah,
Hmm.
we use teamwork. Yeah. And
Yeah.
so that goes into their account to where when somebody's looking at their account, it puts it on the calendar. It adds the workflow to say, remember 2 weeks ahead of time to do XYZ. Yeah. It's so good. And one of the things, so a lot of times the businesses I work with, and I don't know if you're the same, but a lot of the businesses I end up working with, the tech really overwhelms them. They know that they need it, but they don't want to use it. So the suggestion that I have is if you're wanting to do gifts or birthday cards or anniversary, whatever you're going to do, is on you can do it old school and write it
Mhm.
down. Let me cover that address, but write the date of when this needs to be mailed, and then when you put the stamp on it, it covers it. So you just have a do
Oh,
them for the whole month at a time, and you have them and you look at your thing and this, oh, this needs to be mailed and just put it out in the mail. So you don't have to have a program to do it. You can totally do it old school.
yeah, I did it old school for the studio way before any of this was
Yeah.
even available. Yeah.
Let me show you something about old school because you don't know. So I found out August this last year, 2025, we went to my dad's house to celebrate my husband's birthday. And he's, did you know about Granny Iris's company she had back in the 70s? And I'm like, no, I knew she worked somewhere, but I don't know what it was. And he said it was called client relations. He found her her notebook, her leather binder, and in it, it has all of her SOPs, everything she did, handwritten cards. I didn't know I've been living this out for years. And she literally did the same thing in the 70s. So much so that I teach to send Thanksgiving cards instead of Christmas cards.
Oh my gosh. That's crazy.
And so her process stamps were 10 cents. And this is all in her handwriting and stuff. And her process was she worked with insurance agents. When they signed a new client, they would pay her and that she would send 17 handwritten thank you cards or seasonal cards or asking for referrals over 3 years.
Wow.
And so this talk about old school, this was before there were systems. This was probably before it was a whole marketing. It was, but it was relations. Like it was
Yeah.
about the relationship. And so
Yeah.
I was blown away. And then the very next day, I was teaching my first workshop on retention made simple because I had been putting it together forever. Did the first workshop and got that the day before. I'm like, I don't know if you believe in God or not, but I believe somebody had something to say to me of, oh my gosh, you're on the right track.
Yeah.
You
Exactly.
can't
The
make that
universe
up.
was speaking to you for sure.
You can't make that up.
No. No,
Yeah.
you cannot.
So I'll just tell you this, there's two more pieces to what I call retention made simple.
Yeah.
And the first one is onboarding. The second one is appropriate appreciation, which you're already doing, right? Because you show that as part of it, but you can't do it without the onboarding form. And then the
Mhm.
third part, though, is the part most people don't want to do or don't do, and is asking for actionable feedback. And the thing is, people are like, I don't want to ask for feedback because what if they say something bad? You need to know.
That's the whole
And so,
point.
yeah, that's the point. And the thing would be is if you don't want to ask, you already know the answer. So you might need to make some improvements, but you cannot build better trust with someone if you ask them for feedback and they give you something true and then you make a change because of it and let them know. You will never, that's the best way to earn trust because they're going to see that you valued what they said. And sometimes people will say something and it doesn't really make sense or it was just a one off experience. You still have to acknowledge it, right? And say, thank you. I really appreciate your feedback. But when you ask for feedback in a way that makes them feel heard, they're going to know that you're going to take care of their people the way you take care of them. And they're just going to refer you more.
Yep.
And so, yeah. And so part of this process can totally be automated. You can use AI to do a lot of it, but there's still got to be that humanity mixed in, like you call them love touches,
Mhm.
right? Because it really does make a difference. This has been really
Yeah.
great. Yeah, you have anything else you want to share before we wrap up today, or anything you wish I'd asked that I didn't?
Um, what do you do? So we I would say every 3, 6, 9 months, we would re-engage clients that left.
Yeah, yeah. So there's got to be an offboarding process too,
We
right?
do. Yeah, we
Yes.
did. Mhm.
If you have an offboarding process and you gather the data and you can get them to tell you really why they're leaving, because sometimes they won't, or they'll say something that's not true. If you can figure out why they left, and then when you go back in 3, 6, 9 months, whatever it is, you can say, "Hey, I know you left because of XYZ. We've made some changes. Are you open to just seeing about it or asking if they know anybody else?" If they left on really good terms and it was just not a good fit for them anymore, usually for us, when somebody leaves, it's not because we did a bad job. It's because they need somebody in-house instead of
Mhm.
virtually, and it's probably the same for you doing the same
Mhm.
kinda thing. And so if they left on good terms, then being able to ask and say, "Hey, who do you know that's in the place where you were before, so we can help them grow just like we helped you grow?"
Yeah.
And also just a genuine message, text message, especially if you were one-on-one with these clients and it's not just a mass of people, just send a message and say, "Hey, I was just thinking about you. I don't need anything. I hope you're having a great day," and mean it. So that's
Yeah.
part of what I would do. The other thing is anytime somebody's been a client, there's been a couple people we fired because they were not a good fit for us.
Oh,
They're
I've
not
done
on
that.
the list anymore. But everybody else actually gets a birthday card even after they're not with us on our team. Like we're not
Mm.
supporting them anymore. And I have an example of that would be a woman was working with us for 2.5 years, and then her business took a downturn. She was having some family issues. She had to scale back. And so she had to let us go for a while. And she wasn't cranky. We weren't cranky. It's just what needed to happen. And so she got her birthday card, and on the bottom of it, it just said, "Hey, text me when you get this so I know you got it." And she ended up calling me. We had a conversation, and she's been back with us for a year and a half now. Did not send her that card to get her back as a client. I sent her the card because I cared about her as a human, and she was reminded of us,
Yeah.
and then she came back. And I had a client that had been with us for 4 years. Most of our people stay for a really long time. And I think in a retainer model, if you're doing what you said you're gonna do, they're getting the results, there's no reason for them to leave. One of our clients, though, she ended up closing her practice. She was a life coach and a CEO coach. She was a coach for CEOs and like C-level
Oh, yeah.
executives. And so
Hmm.
she decided she was closing that and she was gonna start doing taxes. Kind of sounds like fun to me.
No, it doesn't, but
Anyways,
someone needs to do it.
somebody's got to do it. But so she closed her business. And then about a year later, she messaged me and the company she's working for doing the taxes for part time. Now we're doing their stuff. So she referred
Awesome.
us to the company she's working for. Right. And I got connected to her initially by being referred to somebody that I knew from the business I owned before. Right. So when your name is good, your reputation is good, when
Mhm.
people know you keep your word, it just changes the ballgame, especially right now in the work. Like we hear everybody talking
Mm.
about there's a trust issue. That is no joke.
Yeah.
I used to say video where it didn't happen, but we can't say that anymore. Because just because it's on video does not mean it happened. That's
That is so true.
yeah. So those are some of my thoughts around how to circle back to people. And I think one of the things I try and remember is that you're a human. And when I treat you like a human, like a real person, like somebody that has kids and a family and maybe a dog or a cat. I'm not a cat person, but
Me,
you're
yeah,
doing
dog.
this, you okay. And we act like we care because we do, and we actually engage on a human level, that's when everything changes. And as an introvert, it's hard for me to do that on an ongoing basis because I am introverted, but I have to do extroverted things for work. I will be going to take a nap when we're done. And that's okay. Just 20 minutes. Just reset my brain, 20 minutes. And you have to know what you do to take care of yourself. But I'm really glad we got connected.
Yeah.
I have all your information. I'll make sure when I share this out on the podcast, people will know how to reach out to you. I don't think you actually said the name of your agency. Would you? What is your agency name?
Yeah, it's just JRY Solutions.
Okay, JRY Solutions. And as we wrap up, who is your ideal client and what's your favorite thing to do for your clients right now?
Really, any small business is my ideal client. And my absolute favorite thing to do right now is setting up custom lead generators.
Uh,
Absolutely love setting those up for clients because if you are someone who is having a really hard time finding leads, setting up a custom lead generator in any AI, whichever GPT you're using, is so easy. And the leads that you can bring in that are specific to whatever business you're looking for are so good.
yeah,
And we
amazing.
can connect, yeah, we can connect them to your email. So it drafts emails instantly. And you can just, it's just so good. Those are my
Yeah,
favorite things to build for people because you can see the benefit almost instantly and the return on investment.
yeah, that's I'll make sure
Mhm.
people know how to get in touch with you. You hang here, but I'm gonna hit that we're done for
Okay.
today. Y'all
Bye.
later.